The coaching staff there, they've built they're building right now, Maryland into be that next echelon in the Big Ten, and I'm coming in at a great time. We got some guys that can make some noise at the end of the year, and I think it's going to be fun. I think we're primed for a strong finish. The cool thing about Jaxon is I get to wrestle with him every day. And, I'm down there to make him better, but a guy like that, I feel myself getting better too. I mean, going down the stretch, it's like you look forward to every single match that dude wrestles because he's always entertaining.
What's up, everybody? John Forster here, breakdown from the barn. We're on episode 49. With me, as always, the greatest mind in wrestling, Eric Winuk. And we got with us today, we got All-American rider standout, Ethan Laird. How you making out today, Ethan?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I just got back. My voice is a little hoarse. I was at Iowa, Penn State this weekend. That was a little rowdy. Penn State, they're buzzsaws. But yeah, happy to be back here. So what's going on? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now? You're down in Maryland. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, your role there and what you're doing with the tarps?
Yeah. So I got a couple titles. I'm the DMV RTC director, and then I'm the special assistant to the head coach on staff. But really, it's just kind of doing whatever they need me to do. A lot of wrestling. I'm on the mat almost every day. So, I mean, I love it. It's awesome. I get to keep wrestling and stuff.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that it's well, I also have I'll forgive me as well. I was not at the Iowa match with John. I was going to go with him, but I had a big quad meet with my North Jersey Westfield middle school in North Jersey guys, and we went 3-0, so I'm proud to say. And before we go, I want to give a shout out to Luke Jacobs, who's on the Maryland staff, who is a Westfield alum. So I hope you have some nice things to say about him. But Ethan, let's get talking about you and your All-American run in your last year. You had a great career over at Rider, but what is it like to accomplish a goal like that and to have everything culminate into that final season where you're up there in the top six?
Yeah, I mean it was a long ride. 6 years is a long time. It would have been nice to be going for number two All-American, my second status. But yeah, the whole season was really just focused on trying to win, become number one. But came up a little short, ended up sixth, but I'm still, I'm proud of what I accomplished there, especially at a place like Ryder where you gotta really work for everything you get there.
Yep.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about the experience going to Rider. We know Coach Angie does a great job there. You got some good coaches in there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that experience wrestling at Rider for so long?
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting place. Hangy and Bedleon, they're just they're my kind of guys. If you buy into what they're telling you, do the stuff that they try and really hammer home with their program, then you'll be successful there. And they seem to find the guys that may be a little under recruited but want to win. And when they find those guys usually have pretty good success. So, it's not the biggest school, it's not the nicest school, they don't have the most, but they definitely know toughness and hard work there. And that's one thing that I'm definitely gonna carry over with me into my coaching.
Listen, don't knock yourselves, man. Jersey wrestling's always tough, north to south. Riders always put competitive teams out there. I know John can attest to that. Even going back to our times in the early '90s. So, now don't sleep on what the programs do in Jersey. But more important, going back to you, and this was something John and I were talking about earlier, where I really remember your career was actually post-career, and that's what you did at the World Team Trials. And to me, that was very impressive. Taking third. So really, why don't you talk to us about that experience? And obviously you're in the coaching gig right now, but is there any aspirations to maybe continue in your senior career, maybe do something more? Because obviously a finish like that, it's got to build confidence that there's more out there for Ethan Laird.
Yeah, so that was actually I redshirted my fifth year. And so during that redshirt season before my final season,
Yep.
I did the freestyle circuit, the
Yep.
open and world team trials. And that's part of what actually made me go back down to 197 from heavyweight, is wrestling 97 kilos. Uh, and yeah, I mean, it was kind of just something I was doing at the time to stay sharp and get ready for my final run. And I ended up doing pretty good. I've never trained too much freestyle, But you know, this past cycle for the Olympic trials and whatnot, it was kind of weird how it was in season. It didn't really time up. I didn't really,
Right.
I didn't have the itch to compete. But as time goes on, that itch starts coming back. So I wouldn't be totally surprised if I ended up back on the mat competing in a bit. But for now, I'm not training or anything. But I wouldn't say never.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
sounds good.
so let's talk Maryland. You're down there, Maryland. Why don't you tell us a little bit about their season, how things are going down there in Maryland.
Yeah, so season's going pretty good. We just got our second Big Ten win. That was first time in program history since we've been in the Big Ten that we've had two Big Ten wins in a season. So things are trending in the right direction, obviously. Uh I mean, the coaching staff there that they've built they're building right now, Maryland into be, that next echelon in the Big Ten. And I'm coming in at a great time. They're in a great spot. They're going in the right direction. I'm really just I'm looking forward to this final stretch of the season. Uh, we got some guys that can make some noise at the end of the year, and I think it's gonna be fun. I think we're primed for a strong finish.
Sweet. And talking about those Big Ten wins, why don't you give us a little more detail on the big win you had yesterday against the Spartans, 28-15 win against Michigan State. What was the key to the victory there, and kind of walk us through some of the big matchups?
That was a great duel. I mean, we knew there were some matches where they were favored, some matches where we were favored, and really our guys that were favored, they came up big. We had Tech Fall at 33, Tech Fall at 49, Tech Fall at 97, Major at heavyweight. And anytime you have your studs going out there and getting big bonus like that, it's going to be good for, you're probably going to set yourself up to win the duel. And then we won an overtime match at 74. Our 74 pounder Dom he's coming on strong right now into the season. Uh, and then we dropped a couple matches that we thought we could have won too. So, there's still room for improvement. Our 57 went to overtime with Saldate from Michigan State, who's a tough wrestler. He's a couple positions away from losing matches throughout this season where he could be, top 20 guys. So, we got our studs and our guys that are in the rankings high, but we got some guys that aren't up there yet, but they're definitely lurking.
Yeah, and you're right. Soldate is no joke. I mean, if you watched his match against Levi Hayes, he took Levi Hayes into double overtime. That was a real funky match. Thought it could have went either way a lot of times. So that's a big props here, 57 pounder. I think he's probably the Soldate might be the most underrated 57 pounder in the country right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then let's talk about, I think they brought you down there for a reason. Let's talk about the big man at 97, Jaxon Smith. What kind of year has he been having? He's ranked fourth in the country right now. And where do you see him coming down the stretch? Any matches you're looking forward to with him? And, just where do you see his season going? Only a sophomore.
Yeah, I mean he's a stud. That's obviously the main reason I'm down here is I wrestle with him a lot every week, almost every day. So it's a blast wrestling with him. He's so good and he's so talented. He hits things that you don't see anyone ever hit. He's a freak. Early in the season at Vegas, he bombed Sloan, got that big signature win for a season, and then from that point on, he hasn't really looked back. Um, where I'm really looking forward to seeing how he finishes up. He's really firing all cylinders right now. Uh, the cool thing about Jaxon is I get to wrestle with him every day, and I'm down there to make him better, but I can just wrestling with a guy like that, I feel myself getting better too. So it's cool for me to experience that. And I mean, going down the stretch, it's like you look forward to every single match that dude wrestles because he's always entertaining. Uh, he's not one of those guys that's going to go out and have like a one exchange, boring. He's gonna let it fly, try and bomb guys, do whatever he wants. So going down the stretch, I'm just really looking forward to seeing how he does against these real top guys. We wrestled Brooks a couple weeks ago, and we lost, but I think that we had some positives take out of that match too. And he's a guy that, his goal shouldn't be anything other than win a national championship.
Well, I think he's going to continue to progress in his career as well because he's accomplishing a lot early on. I think it's just going to continue to improve to get better and better and better. And I think it's also important to have a guy like yourself in the room because one thing I know we've talked about the necessity for having upper weight guys in the room, and bringing a guy like you can only help. So I think a lot to look forward to. But moving back onto the team itself, you guys are going to host the Big Ten Championships, which is a really cool thing. So why don't you talk a little bit about that and the exciting environment that's going to bring?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really looking forward to that because my first year in the Big Ten, I get to be on the team that's hosting it. So I've never been to a Big Ten championships.
They're fun.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's it's the other than nationals, it's the best tournament that college
No
wrestling
doubt.
provides. So it's going to be awesome. I hope that our guys can see the advantage that is and use it, and hopefully when it's all said and done, we're walking out of there with, 7 qualifiers and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of guys going to the tournament.
And what I was
It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's awesome we get to host it. We got a great venue for it.
Yeah, what impressed me about going back to when Rutgers hosted the Big Ten tournament is the way teams travel in the Big Ten conference, and you get so many different people in the room talking wrestling, and just the wrestling IQ in the fan base, and when you see it in the stands, it's out of this world. So it's a really great experience. And I think to be able to host that, it's just a great thing, and I think you're really going to get a lot out of it.
Yeah, big
Yeah, it's
And who's your partner
I'm
there?
definitely looking forward to it.
cat. What's your cat's name? Where's your cat? Your cat.
That,
Yeah.
Get him
that
up there.
that's that's Sturgill.
Nice, nice. Sturgill's in there. Nice. So yeah, like like Winnook said, that's going to be an exciting time down there at Maryland. I'm sure lot of people are going to be going down there, especially in the East Coast. That's going to be a real exciting tournament. So looking forward to that. Let me tell you, Friday night, coming into Jersey Mike's, there's a lot of good matchups happening. What are you most looking forward to coming into Jersey Mike's Arena?
Yeah, I mean, at Ryder, I think we were 0-4, 0-5 against them. I think the first year we wrestled them, there was like 8 1-point or overtime matches, and we lost all of them. So going into this, I want to get a win over Rutgers. I haven't got one yet, and they bring the atmosphere, they bring the competitiveness. They seem to bring it out of the people that come into their place. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I hope our guys can appreciate the atmosphere that they're going to be walking into and really like rise up to that intense environment. And it'd be a huge win too, because that's kind of Rutgers is the type of team that we need to start beating if we want to get to that level that we're trying to get to. So we're seeing it as a huge opportunity to go in there.
Yeah, and for myself, John, I'm hoping that some of the key matchups take place because we know there's been a couple of guys banged up who didn't travel over to Penn State today. So I would love to hope the 197 matchup comes to fruition. That's the one I'm looking forward to. We mentioned Jackson earlier. I think him and Poznansky will be one heck of a matchup. That's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm hoping that comes through. I think Paz will be out there in the mat. So I don't know if you want to go into detail about that, if that excites you. I know we're putting a lot on Jackson there, but that's the matchup I'm looking forward to.
No, yeah, I mean, I've seen Paz wrestle a lot. Obviously, he's a good wrestler. I've wrestled with him a little bit too. He's good. He's solid, good in all positions. So I mean, it's a good test for Jackson. It'll be good to have that match towards the end of the season before Big Tens get another just another solid hard match. Get ready for it. But I think there's a few like pretty decently ranked matchups in there, and that's obviously one I'm looking forward to the most too. But 33 will be a good one. Our we have a core of sophomores right now, or 33, 41, 49, 97. All they're our 4 highest ranked guys. They're all sophomores, and it's really fun to like see those guys carry the team a little bit and drive the team forward. So pretty much all of those guys, I'm excited to see how they do. And then we got our couple guys that are looking to break through, and they have been picking it up lately, and Rutgers provides, some more ranked wins for these guys to get. So it really just everywhere up and down the lineup is just opportunities, especially when you face a team like Rutgers that has, 9, 10 guys ranked. So.
Yeah, and that's going to excite you when you've got a core of wrestlers who are sophomores. You've got a couple of years left in their eligibility. That's how you build kind of that dream season down the line. So I agree with you. In 33, again, with Shawver, the way he's wrestling, another key matchup. So I know I'm excited for the Maryland match. I know John is. It's going to be electric. The arena is always big. And the last thing I would ask is, what's it like coming into an arena like Jersey Mike's? I know you touched on it, but really get into that for that big match. I'm sure it's really going to get you hyped up.
Yeah, I mean, it depends the kind of guy you are. Some guys really feed off of that intense environment. They get hyped up for it, and then they can, you know, really elevate their wrestling to match the
Yeah.
atmosphere. Some guys, I was more so a guy that I was just going to be steady. If it's a gym with 10 people in it, or a packed gym, I didn't want to. I knew who I was, so I wanted to not let anything affect that. But and I think we got a mix of guys. Some guys really like rising up to a big moment, and some guys are really good at just keeping calm and steady. So, it just kind of depends the kind of guy you are. But regardless, when you get your hand raised at the end of the match,
Yep. Doesn't
it
matter
feels
who's
a
there.
lot better in front of that big packed arena,
Yep.
and vice versa too. It feels worse too if you don't get your hand raised. So,
Yep.
again, it just gives you that opportunity to get that big moment.
Yeah, 100%. I think this match is gonna be fire. I'm fired up about it. I think hey, Maryland fans come out, Rutgers fans come out. I think it's gonna be a battle that, like you said, 33, 41, 49. I'm excited about those ones. So definitely come out, put on a show. Guys, follow the show. Make sure you follow the show. Make sure you follow Maryland Wrestling. They're doing great things down there. And we'll talk to you later.